So here is the story time about my ex-best friend and how she cyberbullied me and I didn't know. So I had met this friend when I was in 5th grade. She immediately became my best friend and I don't know, we just hit it off right away. And we would do everything together at school, we would always be partners, all that kind of stuff. But we just got super close and I literally would only talk to her. I had no other friends because I was no, she's the only friend I need, Another thing is she was also the type of person who would lie about everything, a compulsive liar, anything and everything. She'd be the type of person to be oh yeah, my parents are penguins and I grew up in an igloo. What? I don't even know. But that's just kind of the lies she would tell, absurd. But the thing was is I would believe these lies because I was literally in 5th grade. She was the first kind of friend I ever had. So my mom never trusted this girl, and I remember the first time my mom went to go meet her mom, her mom wouldn't get out of the car and wasn't there, and it was just super weird, and my mom's you can't hang out with her, and I was Mom, she's my best friend, you don't understand me, you don't understand. And she was just she knew the whole time, and I just didn't want to listen because I thought I knew everything. And one thing was, we had to do this stupid test in elementary school in order to go to recess. You had to read a book and take a test, and you would get points. You had to have at least 3 points every day. Well, me and her would take these little books with 3 words in them, and it gave you half a point. So we would just do a bunch of those. So I read some and then she read some, and the ones that she read she would take on mine, and the ones that I read I would take on hers. And so then my teacher caught that and started interrogating us. I was bawling my eyes out. And then when that girl, my ex-best friend, left the room, my teacher was literally oh my gosh, did she make you do this? Everybody just thought of her as a cunt because to be honest, she was. I found out she was, but at the time I was just no, I did this because I want to go to recess and stupid reading isn't going to stop me. So anyway, fast forward to 6th grade, we were still friends. I remember in 6th grade, she started wearing full faces of makeup, and I took chorus because I didn't want to take chorus. I can't sing, but I took chorus because she was going to be in that class, and I was oh, I want to be in classes with my friends, This is part 2 to the cyberbully story. So anyway, I'd taken chorus with her, and somehow she made friends with every person in that class, and I was shy at the time, so I had a hard time talking to people, and it was hard for me to make friends, and I didn't want to and whatever. But she basically got all these people to hate me, and so I would get dirty looks all day long from people that I had never once spoken to in my entire life. I didn't know it was her doing it. I just was confused as to why they didn't like me. I just thought it was because I was super ugly at the time, I guess you could say. I don't know. That's the best way I can put it. Also, tell me one day why I had planned to hang out with her. So I took the bus home with her, right? And this is sorry, I forgot to say this, but anyway, I took the bus home with her, and she kept telling me, because she told me that the house we were going to was her babysitter's house because we couldn't get to her real house because her dad had the keys and her dad was at work when she didn't have a dad. But I didn't know that at the time. That's the type of lies she would tell. And all day, she was just yeah, he'll be home soon. He'll be home soon. He's probably still at work. He has the keys to their house. We have to stay here. And it wasn't even her babysitter. It was her stupid sister. Because even when her mom got home, her mom came there. And I was just well, why doesn't your mom have the keys? And she was just my dad has them. Okay. So anyway, it went on at school where all these girls didn't like me and stuff, and I didn't know why. And I would be in the counselor's office every single week because I didn't know how to deal with all of that, and I was super upset all the time, and I wanted to get out of class. I didn't like school. I was just having a hard time. And then my at-home life at that time was really hard, so I just felt I didn't fit in anywhere. The cyberbullying started, so I started getting bullied by some of these girls on Instagram. And they were just telling me really horrible things. And it got so bad to the point where my mom found out and she got involved. And it was just so bad. I remember coming home every day, bawling my eyes out. I'd be having to do the dishes, and I would be just sitting on the floor crying because I didn't know what to do. And I just thought that it was going to be that way forever. You're going to have to go to part 3. This is part 3 to the cyberbullying story. So anyway, I would cry all the time, and then there would be new accounts made that were bullying me, and they were obviously fake, but I was so young at the time that I didn't think a fake account was a thing, It was really bad. And I was up in the counselor's office. I remember there was just so many people getting involved in this, and it was just horrible. So one day I was fed up. I was so fed up. This was going on for so long. I had went to the counselor's office and I had told the lady what was going on, and I was like, look, it won't stop. Like, it's getting out of hand. Like, my mom's getting involved. Like, we don't know what to do. Like, and I'm over it. Like, I'm literally about to like leave school because I can't do this. And so then she basically had this thing, like, I don't know what it was, but she had this thing where like she could like look up the phone number to the Instagram account. And so she's like, we're gonna try this and like see who it is, okay? And it was one of these accounts that were made. So imagine my ex-best friend is sitting in the office with me at this very same time that I am, as this freaking counselor's looking up this number, right? And so she looks up the number, and she says the number out loud, and I was like, hold on. That is my ex-best friend's number. And she's just sitting there like all like embarrassed. She immediately turns red, and I'm like, it was you this whole time? It was you this whole time? Yeah, it was like a cringe moment. But then after that, I completely like cut her off. There was a few times where she tried to talk to me still. Like, she would like every once in a while like try to like DM me on Instagram or something, but I would never respond. And then she just like disappeared from school. It was so freaking bad. I'm just glad that like, you know, like I was able to see like her true colors and find out who she really was.
My most embarrassing moment, and let me tell you about it. I was like 15, and my best friend at the time, let's call her D. Her name starts with a D, but I'm not going to say her actual name. It was a regular schmegular day, and our pastor, we used to go to a Catholic school. Our pastor was like, hey guys, we're doing auditions for who wants to sing for this like huge event that we're doing. I had no interest in going because I know I cannot sing. Like, it's the truth. I cannot sing, but she somehow convinced me. She's like, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it by myself. Come on, you're my best friend. And I just got wrapped in the whole thing. So we go to the audition, and the guy that's auditioning, he's like, well, you guys do need a little bit of practice, but you guys are accepted. I think that was my call to be like, yeah, I'm going to head out, because if the guy's like, you guys do need a little practice, that definitely means I cannot sing. So we had rehearsal every single day after school. Mind you, I was in school from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. already, plus an extra hour. So that means I get out at 5 and I get home by 5:30. And by the time I get home, I have to do cleaning and all of that. But whatever, I stayed. And she was there for every single rehearsal. The day of the event comes, and we didn't have any school that day, obviously. So we had to go into school at like 8 p.m. to get everything ready. The whole day, she didn't answer my text messages. The whole day. I'm sorry, go to part 2. So the day comes, she's nowhere to be found. Mind you, I invited literally everyone in my family, especially my 2 favorite uncles. I had never had a good relationship with my mom, so I didn't invite her. I knew she wasn't going to go anyways. Forgot to say this, but the song that we picked is 2 people singing, so I definitely needed her to sing the whole song. I end up still going, still haven't communicated with her. I still haven't talked to her the whole day. But I had big hopes that she would just show up, and she was just having a hard time, you know, communicating with me. I was on stage standing there. Mind you, I have the worst social anxiety. Like, it's better now, but back then it was really bad. No one in my family came. The person I was supposed to sing with didn't come. So I'm standing there. Obviously, she doesn't come up, and they're like, you still have to sing. And I'm just like, I start singing. You can barely hear me while I was singing. Like, I had the microphone like down here, and I was singing, and I wasn't looking at anyone. The whole school was there, their parents, my classmates. It was the most embarrassing moment of my life. The singing stops. I finally finished the song, and there's this huge silence for like 10 seconds. And then you could hear like maybe 10 people clapping. And I'm like, thank you. And I walk off. Literally wanted to die, and I didn't even want to go to school. She didn't text me for the whole weekend. Like, the whole thing was a Friday, didn't text me the whole weekend. Monday, she texted me like early in the morning, like, hey, are you going to pick me up? Because I used to like walk to her house and then we would go to school. I honestly don't know what hurt me the most. That my family didn't go, that she convinced me to do it and didn't go, never said sorry, she just said her dad didn't let her go, or that I put myself in that situation. That I had to go to school that Monday, the fact that she texted me on Monday like nothing ever happened and asked me if I was going to pick her up. I didn't talk to her for like a month, maybe more, and after that, like, our relationship just wasn't the same.